Hey everyone, this video is going to answer your burning question. Can you flip houses without any money? Especially if you are broke, this video is created for you. When you talk about house flipping, financing is probably most beginners' top concern. And people think that you can only invest in real estate if you already have money, especially house flipping is very capital heavy. It has some truth to it because real estate is usually the most expensive purchase you can make. Unlike investing in other assets like crypto or stocks, you can actually leverage a lot of other resources when you invest in real estate. Today, we're going to explain in depth how you can leverage these other resources to flip houses without using your own money. And watch until the very end because I will show you how some of my students were able to make a six-figure profit within just a couple of months without using any of their own money. When you are flipping a house, the main investment is the purchase price and the rehab cost. There are some other costs too, like the holding cost, insurance, utilities, but they are much less significant compared to the main investment. So today, this video is going to focus on how to fund the main investment when flipping a house. Let's start with the purchase price. That's the money that you have to invest in order to buy a fixer-upper. Some beginners think that they have to use all of their own cash in order to make this investment, and that's not necessary at all. And as a house flipper of 6 years, and after doing over 50 house flips, I've actually never used all of my own cash to purchase a fixer-upper ever. There are a few different ways to fund the purchase price. Similar to buying a primary home, you can actually use a conventional mortgage to purchase a fixer-upper as well. As long as you have good credit and a good income, that's enough to support the monthly payment. But if you don't have a job or if your income is not enough to cover the monthly payment, there's actually another even more popular way of funding a flip, which is to use a hard money loan. A hard money loan is very different from a conventional mortgage because it's short-termed. Usually the term is 12 months or less, and it's asset-based, so it's secured by the flip property, and you don't need to have a W-2 income to qualify. Even though the cost of a hard money loan is a lot more than a conventional mortgage, I still prefer it because when you use a hard money loan, they don't have to review your financials thoroughly, and it's way easier to qualify. Especially because I've been a full-time real estate investor for 6 years and I don't have a W-2 income, so I wouldn't qualify for a conventional mortgage, and hard money loan is just perfect. Hard money loan also funds really quickly. Usually within a couple weeks, the money can be funded into escrow and you can close on the purchase, and it really gives you an edge when you are trying to compete with other buyers who are relying on a conventional mortgage. As we mentioned, hard money lenders don't really care whether you have a job or W-2 income or not, but they really look at the deal that you have carefully because they want to make sure that you have a solid deal and the numbers work so that you can pay back the money that they lent to you. The best part about a hard money loan is a lot of the hard money lenders can also finance up to 100% of the rehab cost. So that means the majority of the main investment of flipping a house actually can be covered by a hard money loan. In order to borrow a rehab loan, the deal has to be really good. So the numbers are very solid for the lender to feel secure. And the cost for borrowing a rehab loan is also a little higher, but that's the cost you have to pay when you don't have a lot of money of your own to use. To find hard money lenders, you can simply do a Google search, but make sure that you put your own location in the search bar as well so that you can find lenders that operate in your area. If you are dead broke, just using a hard money loan is not going to be enough because a hard money loan usually only covers up to 80 or 90% of the purchase price. So you still need another source of funding to cover the rest of the purchase. The rest of the 10 to 20% of the purchase price, there are a few different ways that you can finance it depending on how much it is. So if it's not a lot of money, you can try to use a credit card or a personal line of credit. But I don't really recommend it because the cost of borrowing from a credit card is really high, and depending on how long it's going to take you to hold on to the project, the interest can be a lot of money, and you need to make sure that you have the funds to cover the interest in the meantime. Of course, you can borrow money from friends and family, but even if you don't know anybody who has the money or who's willing to lend the money to you, it's not the end of the world because there are a lot of people who are interested in real estate investing and they may be open to lending money to you even though they don't know you and you don't have a track record yet. I know that because that's what happened to me when I was starting out. To meet those wealthy individuals, you can go to local real estate meetings or Facebook groups to showcase the deal you have, especially the numbers, in order to attract their attention. Based on my experience, good deals are very hard to come by, so there are a lot of people who are interested in investing in very good deals or even partner up with you in order to split the profit. When you are starting out, it might be difficult to get someone to lend money to you because you don't have any track record yet. But you can engage them by offering up part of the profit to them so they become an equity partner and they would be more likely to participate in the deal when there's a lot of upside and it's worthwhile for them to take up the risk. Usually with a private money lender or an equity partner, you need to provide them with a promissory note or a partnership agreement and a deed of trust in order to secure their investment. So using a private money loan or an equity partner is a great way for beginners to get started without using your own money. And I've done it a few times myself when I was starting out because a private money lender or an equity partner can really supplement the hard money loan and put the deal together with you. Another great way to raise money for a deal is to use crowdfunding. Instead of raising all the money to fund the entire deal from one person, you can actually raise a small amount of money from a large group of people. Think $10,000 from 10 people versus $100,000 from one person. In order to crowdfund your deal, you can use either foundthatflip.com or royaltyshares.com or just simply Google crowdfunding house flipping. The benefit of using a portal like what we mentioned earlier is they already have lenders available, so you don't have to seek out the lenders yourself. And the logistics and the legal aspect are already handled. The downside of using crowdfunding is because you are borrowing from multiple lenders, it can take a while, and the cost can be pretty high as well. So now, if you're dead broke and any of the methods to fund a flip sound too complicated and too much work to you, then you really don't want to miss out on this last piece of method that I'm going to show you. Some of my students were able to flip houses using this method, and within a couple of months, they were able to make a six-figure profit without using any of their own capital or even lifting a finger. So this method is called wholesaling. So you go find a good deal, and instead of purchasing the property or doing any renovation to it yourself, you find a buyer who's usually another house flipper or an end buyer who's willing to purchase this property from you in exchange for a wholesale fee. As we mentioned earlier, good deals are very hard to come by. So when you have a good deal in contract, a lot of people would be willing to purchase the deal from you in order to flip the house, do the renovation so they can make a profit from it. When you wholesale the property, the next buyer is going to take care of the financing and the purchase process, so you wouldn't have to worry about any of that. If you're interested in learning more about house flipping and how you can do deals without using any of your own money, check out my coaching program, Transform Flipper Academy. I teach my students the ins and outs about flipping houses, and I help them achieve financial freedom through real estate investing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.